Educational GMAT. Your partner in your GMAT journey.
Interesting one. Again, an official question. A 13th century book. Purporting to record an account. So I'm hoping the argument is clear. There is a book. In fact, it's a 13th century book. And it supposedly records an account given by a Venetian merchant, Marco Polo, of a journey he supposedly made to China. So that account given by Marco Polo contains no description of the Great Wall of China. Now, Marco Polo does mention the route that he took to travel to China, and that for Marco Polo to embark on that route, he would have had to cross the Great Wall. And Great Wall of China, right? And Great Wall of China is an account that would not have been omitted and would not have omitted mention of the Great Wall of China if he had seen it. So most probably, therefore, Marco Polo never did actually travel to China. On what basis is the argument concluding this? On what basis is the argument concluding this?
He didn't see the Great Wall.
Well, yeah, correct. So he didn't see the Great Wall. Absolutely. Because if he had seen the Great Wall, he would have mentioned it. But this book has no mention. The book does record the account of Marco Polo, but does not mention the Great Wall at all. Now, if Marco Polo had gone, he would have seen the Great Wall and would not have omitted the mention of Great Wall. So the very fact that there is no mention of Great Wall clearly means that Marco Polo actually did not travel to China. So what do you think is the assumption inherent in this conclusion? Alpha is easy to eliminate. Can someone tell me why?
No mention of root.
Yeah. So the thing, I mean, the root, the word root. Yeah, the word root is mentioned, but the point is what we are not discussing is whether this route was the most efficient. That's not being debated. He would have gone by the most inefficient route. But the point is, whatever route that he went by, he would have encountered Great Wall of China as per the argument. Now, whether that route itself was the most efficient or most direct, we don't care. All right, Alpha gone, guys. How about Baker? No, very nice. Again, not correct. Marco Polo had no communication with any traveler who had seen the Great Wall. Why do you think this is incorrect? Marco Polo had no communication with any traveler who had seen the Great Wall.
Because if he would have seen.
Yeah, go ahead, guys.
Because if he would have seen the Great Wall or like heard from the argument logic is that he would have written it about it. Hence, Baker is not the choice.
Absolutely. See, let us, even if he had communication with some traveler who had seen the Great Wall, which means perhaps Marco Polo would have heard about the Great Wall, right? And perhaps could have mentioned it. The point is whether he had communication or no communication, the whole point is that the book that recounts the record by Marco Polo does not have any mention of Great Wall at all. Right? All right. How about Charlie? The book's author most probably included in the book only information obtained from Marco Polo firsthand, which is also fine. This was a first-hand information, and the first-hand information did not have any mention of Great Wall of China. Okay, so that's clearly, whether it was first-hand or second-hand does not mention, right? It does not contribute at all. Okay, so we are now left between David and Edward. Actually, Edward is easy to eliminate, by the way. Can you tell me why? The word most alone, in fact, is an easy way to eliminate. It says if Marco Polo had seen the Great Wall, he would have considered it the most notable. That's not necessary. That it's most means number one. No, it could have been number two. It could have been number three also. As long as Marco Polo did consider it notable, the expectation would have been that he would mention it. It does not need to be most notable. Guys, are you with me? Now, by process of elimination itself, we come to David, which I would have wanted you to come to even without process of elimination, by the way. Now, let's look at David. It is unlikely that the book's author, mind you, this book is a 13th century book. So it is unlikely that the book's author suppressed as blatant fabrication any references Marco Polo might have made to the Great Wall. So think about it. Let's reconstruct what happened in the 13th century. Marco Polo came back from China. Marco Polo said that he had seen this great wall in China, big wall, which is thousands of kilometers long. What did the book's author do? He said that, he's bluffing, lying. And so he did not mention Great Wall in the book. Right? But then what is David doing? It is eliminating that possibility. It is unlikely. Now, what do we do, by the way? Process of negation. So this is easy. This is how we negate it. It is likely that the book's author suppressed as blatant fabrication, equivalent to saying blatant lie, that any references Marco Polo might have made to the Great Wall. If this is the case, then clearly just because the book does not mention Great Wall, we cannot conclude that Marco Polo never did travel to China. Because it is possible then that Marco Polo did travel to China, he did see the Great Wall, he did tell about the Great Wall to the book's author, but the book's author did not mention it in the book. All right. Incidentally, since we are there, I just want to also see how we can perhaps modify Edward a bit for it to be one of the contenders of conclusion. if Marco Polo had seen the Great Wall, he would have considered it notable enough, right? Notable enough to mention about the Great Wall to the book's author. That would also have been a very close, correct assumption. All right. Okay.